Hey guys, it's time for my main event review from the day after Christmas, December 26th, 2012. This was a very interesting episode of main event, to say the least. Let's get right to it. So, at the beginning of the show, Michael Cole and The Miz are joined by United States Heavyweight Champion Antonio Cesaro. Why? Because we're going to have a Battle Royal. That's right, folks. The first ever Battle Royal on main event. 20-man over-the-top rope Battle Royal with the winner to face Antonio Cesaro on the next episode of main event. So, while I'm not going to go through everybody that was in it, because, well, let's be perfectly honest, do I really have the time to try and identify all 20 men that were in it? I'll just give you some of the key points and moments of this Battle Royal, and I'll start at the beginning. Great Khali was the last guy to enter the ring for the Battle Royal after the introductions. So, Great Khali does his walk over the top rope shtick, and Santino, to avoid Khali, does this. And then Yoshitatsu decides to go right after Great Khali right away. Big mistake, because 2 seconds later, Yoshitatsu was thrown over the top rope and onto the floor, thus being the first man eliminated. So that really kicks off the Battle Royal. And, you know, this was a fun Battle Royal to watch. And I like Battle Royals. I really do. I don't know if I've ever said it, but I am a fan of Battle Royals. So you had a couple of interesting situations, moments, like Justin Gabriel and Tyson Kidd eliminating members of 3MB, and then they got eliminated, and that caused a fight on the floor, which we'll lead into later in this review. Great Khali and Brodus Clay went at it, the two biggest guys size-wise in the match. They went at each other, and at the end, Khali eliminated Brodus Clay. This was, like I said, a fun match. Commentary, Cesaro was fun to listen to on commentary. So your final four men come down to Great Khali, Wade Barrett, Santino Marella, and Zack Ryder. 3 faces and a heel. So Ryder and Marella, they work on Wade Barrett while Khali's over there in the corner. So Santino has Barrett set up in the corner. He tells Ryder to give him the bro boot. So, you know, he does a root, root, root. He runs and he gives him the bro boot. Then, all of a sudden, Santino Marella throws Zack Ryder over the top rope and onto the floor. Zack Ryder gets eliminated by his tag team partner. Remember, Battle Royals, every man for himself. And then Wade Barrett eliminates Santino Marella. So we come down to Wade Barrett and the Great Khali. And while this was not Undertaker Shawn Michaels Royal Rumble 2007, this was a good ending. Barrett attempted a couple times to get Khali out, but just could not do it. And then Khali got Wade Barrett to go over the top, but Barrett was able to pull himself back up on the apron, only for Khali to chop him on the head, knocking Barrett to the floor. Great Khali wins the Battle Royal and earns a shot at the United States Heavyweight title. After the match, Cesaro comes into the ring and actually puts his hand out, and Khali and Cesaro shake hands. Very interesting. So after a commercial break, we go to the back where Matt Striker is interviewing Great Khali. I know, that's going to be one hell of a promo. When all of a sudden, Cesaro hits Great Khali from behind with the United States title belt, but Khali is able to get back up and knocks Cesaro down, and Cesaro leaves, but he left behind his United States title. So Khali, picks up the belt, and he says, "I'll see you next week. Happy New Year." And he leaves. So now, after that, and I do apologize if I offended people with my Great Khali impersonation. After a Raw review, Three-man band, 3MB, they come out to the ring, and they explain that Heath Slater, due to his larynx being hurt, cannot sing. Thus, they can't perform at the New Year Eve concerts in New York City, LA, and all that. And they blame Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel for that because of a 3-on-2 handicap match that happened a couple of weeks ago on Main Event. And then, during the Battle Royal, which I mentioned earlier in this review, all 4 men, after they got eliminated, were going at each other. So, Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal challenge Justin Gabriel and Tyson Kidd to a tag team match, and we get the tag team match. And I have to say, this was a fun match to watch. The end of the match comes when Slater tries to interfere in the match, but gets caught. And then Gabriel and Kidd get a quick roll-up. They get the win over Mahal and McIntyre. And it was a fun tag match, like I said. And that is basically your episode of Main Event, the final episode of Main Event in the year 2012. This was a fun episode. You're not going to get any 5-star classic matches on this. You're not going to get any match of the year candidates. But it is fun. It's a battle royal. I don't know too many people that do not like to watch a battle royal. It's a battle royal. But Great Khali won, which actually, in a weird way, is the right choice, especially with what happens in the next episode with Cesaro and Great Khali. And that leads into 2013, and you'll get reviews of Main Event in the upcoming days.